Our mission, Helping Parents Heal, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting bereaved parents. Through support and resources offered, we aspire to help individuals become shining light parents, meaning a shift from a state of emotional heaviness to one of hopefulness and greater peace of mind. Helping Parents Heal goes a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and afterlife evidence in a non-dogmatic way. Helping Parents Heal affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non-religious background, and encourage open dialogue. Attendance at all Helping Parents Heal meetings is voluntary. All discussions that take place at affiliate-led meetings are confidential. We hope that participants will learn from and share with each other. Zoom meetings run by leadership are not confidential. These meetings typically feature guest presenters and are posted on YouTube so that affiliate members worldwide can watch and benefit. Neither type of Helping Parents Heal meeting is designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers, allowing parents to learn about many possible ways to heal. This includes presenters covering progressive topics such as afterlife evidence and connecting with our children who have passed. The views expressed by our guest speakers may or may not reflect the opinions of Helping Parents Heal leaders and members, so we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Drew. We're so glad to be with you this evening.
It's an honor and a privilege to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, we are so thrilled to have you. And I was just thinking that I've asked you before to introduce yourself if you want to. You have such an incredible bio, and I would love to be able to read it, but you do such a great job of introducing yourself. So would you like to do that, Drew?
Sure, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. So it's always an honor and a privilege for me to share this space with people, especially, people that have been through what you've been through. And I just feel like it's an extraordinary gift in a lot of ways to be able to be connected to people that have been through or are going through this kind of thing. So for me, I consider myself a psychic medium and an intuitive guide. I'm a Reiki Master. I've studied a lot of different trance states, mostly at Arthur Findlay College in the UK and in Scotland, all different variations of healing and stuff like that. But the most important thing was I didn't know that I had these abilities until I had gone overseas, came back from Iraq, and I was pretty angry. I was like pulling people out of cars kind of thing if they were too close behind me. I was in Baghdad, and it was a little rough. And then I got married. My mom passed away from cancer. I had a stillborn baby girl at 8 months and 1 week. And 20 something days later, my brother-in-law took his own life in a very violent way, my sister's husband. So life changed and was shattered, as you all have experienced, surely. And for some reason, the fragility of life hit me over that next however many weeks or months. And I remember being in therapy, and of course I went to fix my wife, and I was like, yeah, we got to go to therapy for her. And through that process, I got sober and realized that I was drinking and taking prescription drugs like to numb. I was trying to, I think part of me just wanted to logic my way through life, so give me a medication that numbs my feelings, and that's, what I'll do. But the blessings and the joy in my life was always from experiencing and feeling, and even in business, the intuitive abilities were always so present that my lawyers and people that I worked with would be so angry with me. They'd be like, dude, are you reading the analytics? Or are you just like, cause I'd be like, I feel like we should do this. I feel like we should do this. And it was just funny, like not a lot of guys talk like that. So, I didn't know, but I don't remember waking up when I was younger, seeing spirits or anything, but I remember asking my mom odd questions. I'm Irish and Italian. You can't get any more Catholic as far as upbringing. But I do remember my mom, I would ask her questions to the point of where she would get really annoyed. I'd be like, well, where would I be if I wasn't here? And she would just be like, just shut up. I don't know, and she wasn't mean. She was a great mom. She was the type of mom where all three of us kids thought we were her favorite, and when I got sober and clear and clean. And I started kind of praying and reading these daily reflections in the morning, every morning. And for about maybe 8 months to a year, it was about a year to the day, my sister was like, hey, listen, this, I want you to talk to this psychic, or this psychic wants to talk to you. And I'd be like, what'd you pay her? What do you mean she wants to talk to me? It's like, because, a psychic for me was like someone you go on the Jersey Shore boardwalk when you're drinking and you get your cards read or whatever. And I'd been to some good ones. So it wasn't that I didn't believe in it, but I just was like, maybe it's for you or some other people that are born with it. And they like, wear funny outfits and live in caves. Like I had no idea what a life of a medium or a psychic would be. So sure enough, I'm like, okay, I'll talk to her. And I remember the whole time I was like, man, I just focused on everything she wasn't getting right. And I just remember that she said something about like, Drew, you're going to do this work. And I'll never forget. I remember being like, and I was making a lot of money. I was like, what work? What do you mean? And she's like, well, your spirit guides want to meet you kind of thing, and I just remember being like, looking around my living room, like, yeah, well, what are their names? And like, I didn't see anybody. And she's like, are you sitting with a brown dog next to a fireplace? And I was like, freaked out. I was like, yeah, so there was something there. And she also told me, I don't remember if it was that time or the time after, but she's like, there's a guy in your office who wants to be a police officer, and you co-signed a vehicle for him. He's going to default. And she was right on all of that. And he did default. Like 3 months later, she said in April, I think. So anyway, she said, meet your spirit guides, meditate tonight. So at the time I smoked cigarettes. I remember putting out a cigarette. I Googled how to meditate, sat at my table. My feet were dangling on the, at the end of my island. And I went into this meditative state, and I'll never forget it. There was a waterfall coming down and a river flowing into the waterfall instead of away. And I remember having the conscious thought, my mind wouldn't make this up, but the whole time I'm like, this is stupid. This is stupid. But I was so intrigued, and I was like locked into, my eyes were fluttering. So then I saw this man across the river who like floated and was almost in my face, and I could feel the heat of another body. And I was so freaked out. I opened my eyes and was like, and I looked at my dog. I'm like, hey, Tyler, okay, time for bed, And when I looked up, their silhouettes were in the window. And I spent the next like 3 to 5 hours drawing them and seeing different faces clairvoyantly in physical format. And it's never been like that since, but I was experiencing spirit in physical form for maybe 36 hours, maybe 2 days. And I was exhausted, and I couldn't really, and it was either that they would telepathically know what it was almost like they could see the thought before I could be aware of it. And as soon as I would think it, the answer would come simultaneously. So there was all this, whatever downloads, or this unraveling and revealing of things very quickly over that period of time. And I'll just never forget that morning, the second morning, I was talking out loud, walking around my house like a crazy person. And I was like, I'm going to work today. I'm going to go to work, and I heard this for the first time, this voice. I can't tell you if it was outside of me. Like if you were standing in the room with me, you probably wouldn't have heard it. So to me, clairvoyance and all the clairs are literally like it's an internalized dialogue. So it's not exterior, although people kind of say that, like, it's not a ghost standing there talking to me, but the perception of it can be like that. So I literally heard, no, you're not going to work today. You're not going to work today. And I felt someone touching my ear, and I was like, oh no, I'm going to work. And I remember I was getting in the shower, and I turned around, and I wailed my head, and I had this huge welt on my forehead. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to go to work today. And I'm like, then I thought all this crazy stuff. And shortly thereafter, basically, these are abilities. And when I'd be around other people, I would just have these racing thoughts, and I would say them out loud, and they would make sense to that person. Right. I would just be like, who's, Kathy? And why are they talking about, oh, that's my grandmother. And you have a ring? Yeah. And you have it in your wallet? Yeah. Or your purse. Like, just these things started making sense. And I came to understand when I went to Arthur Findlay College and all these other places, because I was so freaked out. I mean, I had people telling me that I had a hole in my aura and I was leaking life. And I was like, where is it? Like, how do I fix it? And I curse like a truck driver. I don't levitate. I don't have a bat phone to God, and my life is complicated and not easy. So I was like, this can't be real. It can't be for me, and what I started to realize is the more work I was doing on myself, literally I became more accessible and a better conduit for spirit, because you don't want to talk with Drew. You want to talk with your person. So I'm just the bridge to your person. I'm the ambassador for your person, and mediumistically. And I also understood the differences between a psychic and a medium. A psychic and intuitive, it doesn't mean predict the future. It doesn't mean that at all. It means of or related to the soul. That's it. And I think that I had all these preconceived notions that I had to like unlearn in order to do this. I remember I had a guy sit in front of me who was like, it was weird. He brought this big sheet of paper and he had like 50 questions on it. His first 3 questions I had him read. His first question was, how many lives have I lived? And I was like, well, I'm psychic. I should know this, right? So I just sat there. I didn't get anything. I said, just read through a couple more questions. And he did. And then I said, well, how does that help or heal? Like, I could lie to you and tell you had 4,333 lives. How can you dispute it? And I could tell you this is your only life, or this is your last life, or this is your first life, which I've heard a lot of people come to me in a stressed out way with people who have told them that. And then they go to someone else and they tell them something different, and those things made me really appreciate the evidence of the psychic work and the mediumship that I do, because I want to know that I'm linked into you. I want to know that we're getting truth. I made a lot of money doing something before this, and I lost everything trying to understand this. And I don't regret it. I just feel like I had to slowly unravel all these beliefs in my mind and in my upbringing. And, that kept bringing me to honesty and humility and authenticity. And I worked with people from Janet Novak to Tony Stockwell to John Holland to, and I learned from people. I would study people. I would read books. I read hundreds of books. And the more I learned about theory, the more confusing it got. And the practical applicability of it was really where it's at. So I teach this butterfly course on Tuesdays in 6-month increments, and people come in, whether they want to be professional or not. And there's stuff we do mediumship, but it's like people come in and they have all these questions. And the first question is, can I really do this? And my answer to you is yes. Are you supposed to do it professionally? Probably not. Maybe, but probably not. Maybe it's more about your journey, and I feel like I couldn't do anything else even if I wanted to. I honestly couldn't. The curiosity called to me in such a way that I was obsessed. And that's kind of my personality, right? Like being an addict, I was like, let me do more of this. And the more I did this, the more I realized I can't be a spirit DJ, right? And I can't do what you want, when you want, how you want. And I realized very quickly that people don't know how to behave around this. People will set up a one-on-one and they'll have 7 people sitting in the room and they're like, no, nobody's in here. And you could feel, I feel all this chaotic energy. And like, I get irritable before I do readings it's like an adrenaline rush. And then it changes into like a spiritual kind of energy. So there's this intensity that actually comes with really good quality mediumship. And I had to really understand how to not harness it, but how to not be so affected and impacted by it. And the more work I've done on me, the more accessible I am to you and to spirit. And I truly mean that. I mean that. And I don't do the work only because it makes me a better medium. I do the work because the work needs to be done and I need to be responsible for me. I need to stay in my lane. All of those things, for some reason, like I can only delve into you or into your person as deep as I've delved into me. And I think that if I'm just doing this to help other people because I'm so gifted, like that's a problem to me with mediums and psychics. I want to know that this person has problems and that they're working on themselves. That's just me. And all the mediums and the psychics that I've talked to, we all agree on a few things. And one of those things is we don't know a lot more than we know. I mean, that's just the way it is, and I don't bring religious doctrine into anything I do, but I do bring a universal spirituality. I think that this has affects everyone. If you think about it, like I do all these like fundraisers that I don't advertise, and I do a lot of things. I do charity events. And when I was younger, if my mom was, if someone was having a medium for a PTA fundraiser, my mom would be like, hell no. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to that. Because at the time they were living in like, like dark corners of rooms and stuff. And now it's like, you can throw a rock into 3 mediums, right? And you can Zoom with one on Tuesday and on Friday. So, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing that mediumship is out of the closets. But for me, I mean, whatever label people put on me, I didn't use the word psychic for like 7 or 8 years or something, because I didn't like the type of lines of questions. People come in and be like, should I have this baby? You know, is my husband cheating on me? And I was like, whoa, like, you know, like it freaked me out because all of a sudden I had to be really responsible for what I was saying. And you might go do something with that information. So for me, it was like, you know, there's nothing wrong with those questions in a greater context, but I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to be the neon sign. The mediumship can be the neon sign in the spiritual shop, but I didn't want Drew to be, you know, and I didn't go around doing public events or anything like this before. And if you asked me to talk about me without the mediumship for a long time, you'd get like 3 minutes, you know? So I again feel honored to be here. And I feel like I never know who's going to come through, how long they're going to stay, how they're going to connect with me. What I do know is psychic means I'm tuning into you on a soul to soul level beyond the emotion of the day to talk about the potentials of the future based on where you're at now. Mediumship is when they step into my awareness and influencing me through my psychic and intuitive language. That's why I can know someone spoke Russian, but not understand what the heck they're saying. That's why it can be like audio charades underwater and I can get John, but it's Jack, but I can get the name Gertrude. You know, like, so I had to understand the perfect imperfectness within mediumship. And what I would ask to you, especially as parents who've lost children, what would it take for you to actually believe? Because I've done readings where they're so good and the person has like 7 other readings lined up. And I'm not against getting multiple readings. I just feel like it's a healthy conversation to have. How much is enough? How much do you need? If I have somebody that comes to me and they've been to 2 or 3 mediums and they've gotten good readings and it's only been a month or 2, it feels very flat to me. It feels flat. It feels like I'm almost getting redundant information sometimes. And I feel, and that's usually when there's like too much access. Cause think about it. And I've done some readings where you'll never get a better one. And I've struggled to even start and I had to stop readings. Right. So why is that? Well, I think when people ask me, you know, when is a spirit available? I would say it depends on your emotional stability and also on how can they help or heal the most? You know, I feel like, and it's not like I had somebody that came on one of my live streams and it was one of the last people. And she said, I'd like to connect with my daughter. I did get like 1 or 2 things. And then I could completely feel like someone hung up the phone. And I feel like it's important because if we can't be honest about how this works, then I don't feel like a medium should be doing it. You know, that's just my opinion. And there's a lot of great mediums today. And I think that's beautiful. I just feel like if I brought your person through whenever you wanted to the level of like a 12 out of 10, you would never get better. You would constantly need me. You would constantly be coming to me. So please recognize that when you go to mediums, that it's literally a validation process that can feel somewhat like a conversation in the presence of them. Like there's a big difference when I'm around mediums. When someone gets my mom and they start talking about my mom, it's like, yeah, that's my mom. And then there's like, oh, that's my mom, you know, like, and it's usually not because she's Irish or this is her name. It's usually because of something she said, or she drank iced tea with 35 lemons in it. You know what I mean? Like it's the weird thing you're not thinking of. And that's what I love. You know, and I don't feel like my job is to make people believe. I just feel like the work is, you know, the work is, and the evidence is, and what people do with it is really up to them. And if I could be a small part of someone's pathway to healing, then I'm really grateful for that. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes I have to tell people things they don't want to hear. You know, I sat with a woman last night who was a student of one of my courses. And her mom called me and she's 38 years old and she came for healing over the last 3 years and she would have bouts of cancer and they would go away, bouts of cancer, they would go away. Haven't heard from her. And apparently, you know, I get a call, she's in Greenwich, Connecticut. I had to go to the hospital last night and you wouldn't even have recognized her. And she's probably going to be gone tomorrow or the day after, you know, and it breaks my heart. And to be able to sit and not do mediumship, but to just sit and be there in prayer and healing with the family, to me was better than mediumship because that was the need. You know what I mean? Like if I started going, well, you know, and started trying to convince them that there's an afterlife, it gets weird. So I've over the years, I feel like I keep learning. And the more I teach this and share, the more I feel like I become a better student, you know? And I learn as much from clients and from readings that I do from anything else. So I just really appreciate being here. And for me, the most important thing is who's here? How do we know who they're here for? How do we know it's them? What do they want to say? Because everybody's going to know someone with a J initial or this or that. But like, if it's not your person, you'll get the yeah, kind of, maybe kind of thing going on. When I can't stop talking and the yeses keep coming, it's when you have the right person for the right person at the right time. So the organic, natural connections are awesome. And lately in the last like 4 or 5 years, I get like a crazy amount of animals. So I hope that helps kind of clarify where I come from and how I go about this. And I send a lot of love to you all. I know that, you know, nobody comes here because life is so great. You know, you come here because you need healing, you need help, you need support. And I give you a lot of credit too, because there's a lot of people out there doing it on their own or not doing it or not thinking they need any help. And if you don't own it, it will own you, you know, and seeing people 5 or 10 years down the road without being a part of any kind of organization or therapy or anything, it's scary because I can feel the toxicity, but they can't. You know what I mean? And I think that it's important. The one thing that I've learned in being in recovery and doing this kind of work, the people that I gravitate towards are the people where their strong suit is in vulnerability. It's in the not knowing. The most spiritual place I can be is I don't know. Let's see what happens. Because when I do know and I have all the answers, my life is very small, you know? So with that, I'll start to connect a little bit. Does anyone have any questions?
Well, I just wanted to tell you that Danny is saying, I honestly had no clue what a medium was until I lost my son. It has been such a transformative experience, and I have such a huge appreciation for mediums and how they show our loved ones are still right here. I think that that's important for you to understand. You've had so many people saying wonderful things throughout the time that you've been speaking. And I'm wondering right now, I don't think that there were any specific questions though. Irene, did you see anything?
No, there were no specific questions.
Okay.
So thanks for sharing. That was great too.
Yeah, I didn't know I'd go on for 25 minutes. It's funny, and I always joke in Jersey, people are like, let's go. Or the funny thing is in New York and New Jersey, both, or just, you know, in the States, it's funny, like if it's a no, people are like, nope. But if it's a yes, they're like, maybe. Kind of thing. I always get a kick out of that. So let me just first start with, I have a younger female who I feel like would have been around between 13, 14, 15. And I feel like she would have passed in hospital. I feel like she would have been sick. I also feel like, I don't know if it's Christine or Kathleen, but I keep getting that kind of sounding name. Does anyone understand this? She would have had dirty blonde hair, or she would have had brown hair and she would have highlighted it brown. And the name, if the name is the one thing that throws you off, don't let it, because it might be someone surrounded around you.
Please type in the chat if you can take any of this. Okay, sorry. Nothing yet.
That's okay. So this younger female, I feel like, to me, she feels sick. She feels like she was in a hospital. I want to go with the number 14. She feels like she's 14 to me. If I'm a year or two off, I'm okay with that. But I feel this very strong, and I feel like, I don't know if she was, maybe I'm wrong on the sick, but I feel like somebody, there would have been something that would have put her in the hospital. And I feel like, it's almost like I feel like she's going to get better, but she doesn't. That's the feeling I have with her. Nobody understands this?
Nobody's taking anything yet.
So Jill, so she was 20. Okay. So is that, so Jill, can you come on? Let me see if I can, let's see if this works. Maybe I'm wrong on the.
Okay. I've asked her
age.
to unmute. Hi, Jill. Hi.
Sorry, I have this cough, so excuse me. I keep trying to cover so I don't blast you. Jill, where are you at? So, and also Carmen says her daughter was 17. So if the age is the only thing that's off, but everything else makes sense. Hi, how are you? So there's a woman that says Carol, and I think I said a name like that. So Jill, what was the name of your daughter?
Brooke.
And was she sick?
She had an illness for a long time that caused her to be in and out of the hospital. But when she passed, she had COVID.
So when she was like 14 or 15, was that like a really bad time for her starting to be sick?
It was when she was, it was 2019 and 2020. So that was, I guess,
Yeah,
17, 16, 17.
Okay. So, let me just stay with this. So again, if the name or so I just keep getting this. So do you understand that she would have had darker hair, but she would have dyed it or highlighted it?
Her hair was brown, but she
So just
had
yes or no,
highlights.
just give me the yes or no.
Oh,
Does that make
yes.
sense? Does it? Okay. Do you also understand that she was a little bit sassy?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not saying it in a bad way. And I just keep getting this Kathleen, this Katie kind of name. Do you understand that around you or around her, why she would bring that up? I thought it was her name. It's so clear. Really. So does anyone else understand this? Like so let me so can you stay with me for a second, Jill? So
Sure.
Carol, can you come up here with Ollie? Can we bring two people up? Is that possible?
Sure.
Because
Yes.
Jill, if I can, I'll circle back to you. I just
Sure.
I just want to make sure that I have the right person for the right person. If
Definitely.
So Carol.
Okay. I asked Carol to unmute.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Carol.
Hey, Carol. So can you spotlight? Can you add it? There you are. Hey, Carol. So you might be the name that I was kind of getting before. So you understand this. And you said she was a little bit older though?
She was 15 when she passed, but she
15.
didn't
Okay. So hang
pass.
on. So what it really helps me is just say, yeah, or I'm not sure. Just,
Okay.
I'm sorry. I got this cough. It's killing me. So, and you understand this was like a 5 to 7 day period at the end in the hospital?
A little bit shorter, but yes.
Okay. So, and you understand, and she was sick?
She was sick on and off beforehand.
Right. But she was sick. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Only because the more I get the yes, the quicker I'll get information.
Yes.
And you also understand, I don't understand this. So could dad not be there?
At the end,
Yes. He was there.
he was there.
So are you and dad separated?
No.
Okay. I don't know why I keep getting this disconnect. Is he there right now with you?
No, he's not here at the moment.
So, all right. So I just keep getting this and, I don't know why she keeps showing me this too. So hold on a sec. I also have, so she has a sister living.
Yes.
Okay. And do you understand with the hair, the highlights or she kept showing me dirty blonde. I don't know why. Again,
She used to
if her
call
hair was
me a
dark, but
dirty
then she would
blonde.
highlight it, that's fine.
Her hair was brown, but she used to call me a dirty blonde.
Okay. So, and also, I don't know why she keeps showing me this. Was this like 2 or 3 years ago?
Yes.
Okay. And also do you understand the white dog? I don't know if it's on the other side or living. I know you had a dog bark, but this is like a little white dog.
Yeah, there is a little white dog here. Yes.
Okay, fair enough. So to me, it's really important, those kinds of things, because they kind of anchor with you. Okay. And
Yes.
also you understand your dad passed too, correct?
That I don't know. I don't know my biological dad.
So did your husband's dad pass? I keep getting this father. It's like your dad.
He doesn't know either. He doesn't know his
Really?
biological
That's
dad.
highly unusual. Okay. So, no, that's fine. But I just keep getting this male presence that comes up. And to me, it feels like this. And also that I know very much here that, I don't know what this is. So let me just kind of work with this. Are you writing a lot?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm studying at the moment. Yeah.
It's really important. I just feel like it's important because you've like upped the game in that facet. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So I don't
very
know
much.
if it's like, and are you looking to teach or to lecture?
Yes, I just did a lecture on Sunday.
Awesome. She's like, keeps giving me like pom-poms, like cheerleading for like what you're doing and being out there and doing you. And she just keeps making me feel like, I know it's almost like she makes me feel like there was talk about trying to extend life, but it was better. She wanted to go. Okay.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's the feeling I get, because I just keep feeling like I'm really nauseous and anxious, like she knows she's going to go. Do you understand that?
Yes, very much.
Okay. And it's like she was like a real trooper about it, but then she would crack every once in a while, and that really crushed you. Do you understand that?
Yes,
Okay,
very
because she
much.
makes me feel very strong. And also, is there a little boy, like a brother or another?
Correct. There
Okay,
is. Yes.
perfect. So she just keeps like highlighting like that. She could feel the presence of everyone around. And also, I don't know what this is. So is she the one with the light blue eyes?
No, me.
No, I can see that with you though. So does her sister?
No.
I keep seeing a female with light blue eyes on the other side.
On
Do you
the other
understand this?
side.
Yes.
On the other side.
Yes.
Uh,
So just remember I said that. I know that family might be a little
okay.
bit
I'll have a think.
complicated,
Yes.
but I keep
Yes.
getting this, unless it's your dad, but I feel like there's another female here. Hold on. So also that, so you said her name was Ollie, right? Olivia?
Yes, Olivia. Yes.
So do you understand the name like Jay or Jade? So
Not
it's like an
sure.
unusual JA name she keeps showing me. You don't understand this?
I'm not sure.
All right. And this is for living. Like this is like, she keeps pushing this forward. Okay.
Okay.
I also get, she keeps showing me the month of December. Do you know why she'd be bringing that to me? It's either a birthday or a passing or anniversary.
December, I'm not sure.
So just remember I said this, okay? Unless this is
Yes.
Jill, do you understand December? Okay, I keep
Yeah.
getting it. Even though you say no, I keep getting it. And when that happens to me, I trust what I'm getting. And I can't tell you how many emails I get after doing readings where like, oh, this was that. But she also shows me like around the 18th or 20th, 18th, 19th or 20th of the month. Do you understand that being significant? Doesn't have to be December. That's right. If you're
I've
looking
got
up, don't worry about it. So
20th, I know. 20th is a couple of birthdays we have in the family.
fair enough.
Yeah.
And also, do you understand, Carol, that you're having your own mediumistic experiences?
Yes, that's what she's pumping her fist about. That's where I'm going.
Yeah. And I feel like it's really important to your journey. And also just, she keeps reminding you like, Mom, you're trying to do it perfect. You don't have to.
Okay.
Do you understand that? Because I feel like you're
Yes.
definitely like a perfectionist. Okay.
Yes.
And she just keeps making me feel like she wants you to find the joy in it. It's not only for you to expand and to heal, but she's like, it's okay to have fun and not make it like church.
Okay.
That's how she's giving it to me. Okay. Like almost like,
Yeah.
not that, like I always joke, like I don't take myself that seriously, but I take what I do very seriously. So I just feel like she just makes me feel like, don't make it work. Make it
Okay.
passionate.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. And also, I don't know what this is. You must meditate like for 20 minutes at least every day.
Yeah, I do.
So she keeps showing me like, it's really important that, because she comes and sits with you. And also it's either your mother or your grandmother, your mother or your mom's mom. Okay. Is your mom passed?
My mum hasn't. My grandma, her mum has.
Okay. Would she have blue eyes?
I don't
So
remember.
remember I
don't
said
think-
that because earlier on I kept saying there's another female, like a woman here.
Okay. Yes.
And I just keep feeling this. I thought it was your mom, but it's like a mother feeling. So the
It
mother,
could-
your
yeah, not
mom's
past, but
mom
it
is
could be-
totally fine. But I feel like she just keeps making me feel like she would be very active in your spirituality.
Okay.
Okay. And I don't know whose birthday's in June.
My brother,
Okay. What's his name?
Edward.
I don't understand this. So, your daughter's really funny. I have to tell you. So she keeps
She's
making me
very
feel like,
cheeky.
so did
Yeah.
you have cheeky, you said?
Yeah, very
Right.
cheeky.
I haven't heard that in a while. I love that word. Because in the States, I'm like, people are like cheeky. They're like, what? So
Yeah.
do you have a pencil drawing of your daughter?
I'm not sure. I'm sure there
She
is
keeps
somewhere.
showing me a black and white, almost like a stencil or a pencil cartoonish drawing. So I don't know why she keeps showing me that, but it's like, it's not a regular photograph. She keeps showing me this. Okay. And it's like, she also just gives me one other thing. Hold on. I don't understand this. So I think I said the name Jennifer before. I don't know. But I just keep getting this feeling like she keeps talking about her sister. So is her sister 1 or 2 years separate from her?
Correct. Yes, 2 years.
So is she older?
Yes, correct.
So is she engaged?
No, no.
So she keeps showing me either your grandmother's ring or your ring going to her. So I'm not predicting it's going to happen right now, but she just
Okay,
keeps
this is a
showing me this.
conversation we had. Yes, I know what you're talking about. It's a conversation we literally had about a week ago about me giving my ring to her sister.
Perfect. So that's a beautiful way of her letting you know that she's around, but she
Okay.
just keeps making me feel like she's not going to miss anything from the other side. She's determined to be there every step of the way, but
Yes.
she keeps making me feel like if you want to use me, if you want to use me to be motivated, that's fine, but just don't make me a saint.
Oh, no, not at all. She wasn't. So.
Yeah, she's really funny like that. Like she just does not bullshit around. She will tell you what she needs to tell you. And she just needs you to know that she's okay. And I know that you've heard this before, at least 3 times. She keeps making me feel like, so there must be 3 readings at least or something. But she also shows me that, I don't know what this, do you have a brooch with little wings or something?
I've got a ring. Yes.
Okay. I just keep seeing little silver wings or something.
Yeah.
And she just keeps making me feel like I'm your angel, I'm your angel. And I don't know what this is. So one other thing, is there an NAT name? Like a Nat or a Nick? Do you understand this? Just remember I said this because I keep hearing it in the background.
Okay.
And it's like almost one person back. So it may be for someone else. I'm not sure. But one other thing, come on. She just needs you to know that she's with you every step of the way. And when you write, and you write from the heart, not the mind, because you're very cerebral. You understand this?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So she just keeps making me feel like if you can just like let it flow, even if it doesn't make sense, that consciousness stream of flow is she works her way into that. And she loves when you do that. And she just keeps lighting this up. And also one other thing. So I don't know, she keeps showing me this. Do you have like a little brown teddy bear or something of hers? Like
yes, she's got one on her bed. Yeah, she's got one on her bed, a little brown teddy
like, you know how
bear.
like here we have like Build-A-Bear where you make like a little teddy?
Yes, yes.
And also whose birthday is in August, around the 21st or 24th? So just remember I said that. It feels like an older person.
Yes, I think it's my sister-in-law. I think it's her auntie.
So there's other people here that are probably trying to make their way in, but I don't want to get there. But I just need you to know that she wanted to come through and she was trying to get me your name, the Kathy or the, I think it said Christy or Kathy. But she loves you so much and she wanted to make sure that she comes through for you. Also that particularly today you needed it. I don't know why. But she keeps making me feel like it's really important that you understand that she feels you every step of the way. And if you want her to be okay, she just wants you to be okay. I always say this, they're home, we're visiting. It's not the other way around.
Of course.
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It was amazing.
Good luck on your journey.
Thank you.
And hold on,
Thank you
is
so
your
much.
lucky number 12 or 3?
3.
Okay. She keeps showing me 1, 2, and then she shows me the 3 highlighted. But there's something here. Like, are you really into numbers? Do you get a lot of numbers?
I do. She used to.
Yes.
So we all get it from her now.
So she just keeps giving me this. And there's like something here with like the ascending numbers, like 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4. Do you understand? And it's like the staircase is always harder to walk up, but that's the best path.
Wonderful. It's beautiful.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Carol. I really
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much. I appreciate it. Thank
Absolutely.
you guys.
So let me just try to slide over here to Jill for a second. Jill, so can you give me the name of your daughter and I'll see if I can connect? I can't promise, but now that we have you up, I can't just leave you hanging. Oh, you're muted. What'd you say, Brooke?
Brooke,
Okay. And how old?
20.
So anything I said to her that resonated so I don't repeat?
Just the hospital stuff.
All right. And Jill, who's Joe to you?
Joe?
Yes. Joe or John. It's a J-O name.
I don't know.
Really? I'm usually not wrong on that one. Okay. So let me just stay here for a second. I want to make sure that I'm with you. So did your mom pass?
Thank goodness, no.
So is your mother-in-law pass? I have a woman here that's on that level. So I don't know that I'm with you, Joe.
There's an aunt,
What's her name?
Joyce.
That's the J-O.
Okay.
Okay. So I knew, because the way that I'm getting this, maybe coming from someone to you, maybe but I can't mistake this person coming through. And if you weren't going to take that, I would have had to move. So let me just stay with her. But you must have been very close to her. Do you understand that?
To the
Your
aunt?
aunt.
We were all close to her. Yeah.
Okay. And do you understand too that I don't know why she keeps showing me this. Did she play a lot of cards?
Joyce, you're talking about?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
So I just keep getting games and I'm sitting around a table and I'm doing this thing with cards. I keep getting it. And also, was Joyce a teacher?
No,
Oh, really? She keeps showing me books.
but Brooke was, in school for teaching.
Got it. So, but I want to stay with what's coming naturally. So
Okay.
I just feel like I want to recenter and try to connect. And I kept feeling this woman come up. So let me just stay with this for a second. So Brooke always wanted to be a teacher,
Yes.
or she changed? Okay. So, and also, but didn't she teeter on the nurse?
No,
So do you understand this? Because someone
she
keeps
was
making me
gonna,
feel like I'm thinking
no, you're,
about it. And then
no,
she's
she
like, I'm
wanted to
not.
be, a,
Like
like a patient advocate,
got it. Okay. She,
a
she kept
child
showing,
life specialist,
got it.
actually.
She kept showing me a, like scrubs, but not regular scrubs. So that makes sense. And also, do you understand the black dog on the other side, like a lab?
Yes,
Okay.
Marley.
So I just know that she's here, but I got to tell you, the connection's not so great. So I feel like she's just coming in here and I'm going to end it with that. But she just
Okay.
makes me feel like, hold on a sec. So was your daughter sick?
She was.
Okay. So she had to take an enormous amount of pills.
She did.
She keeps making me feel like she was nauseous all the time or something.
She had COVID the week before she passed, and she took
So what does that make
Paxlovid.
sense to you? Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Because she makes me feel like she just needs you to know that, like, she didn't feel any pain, but she didn't want everyone looking at her like that. She keeps making me feel like there
Yeah.
was certain restrictions, and
Yes.
she just makes me feel like it was almost like she makes me feel like it was like felt like a bunch of like robots. I don't know if people had to be geared up or what, but she just keeps making me feel like she was ready to go and she just wants you to trust that.
Huh.
Right. And like her breathing was going to stop if she wasn't on a machine, correct?
We don't know.
Okay. I keep getting that. Like she keeps making me feel like anything that you believe that you could have changed and kept her here, she makes me feel like it was my time. You need to trust that.
Right. That makes
All right.
sense.
And did you think she had an allergic reaction to something?
I
That's
think
okay.
she just, yeah.
She just keeps making me feel like she just needs you to know that it wasn't painful. It was actually completely the opposite. Like she felt completely liberated from her body.
Okay.
All right. And I don't know, she keeps showing me the month of April. Do you understand that? So look, I know that sometimes you are automatically going to assign it to her when she passed or something, but that's not what it feels like to me. And I don't know why I keep doing this. She must have loved animals, right?
She must have loved animals.
Yes.
She did.
She just keeps making me feel like, and also, did she used to sing a little bit?
Sing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Not
that's
really.
a no. That's a big no. You're like, sing? So I keep getting this, like I keep hearing singing in the background. So, but it's like kids' songs. So I don't really understand that. One thing that she keeps making very clear, and I feel like you might have heard this before, she keeps making me feel like she gets to work with kids on the other side. Do you understand that? Because she keeps making me feel like this is what she's trying to show me. She keeps showing me this. So I just need to leave you with that.
Okay.
All right. I wish I wasn't so rushed, and it's not because of anyone else. Just the way the connection is, I feel like someone else is here and I need to move.
No
But
worries.
I do feel like she didn't want to let you go, and she needs you to know that the black, and who's Nini?
Nini?
Yeah, Nini or Nikki. You don't understand.
I
It's
don't
okay.
know.
Okay. So I'm going to move on, but I do
Okay.
feel like she just doesn't want me to go, but she loves you so much. She just keeps staying here. She's with the dog. She's okay. There's other people, but she just is like rushing me. So someone else has to come in.
Okay, no worries.
All
Thank
right.
you.
What was the dog's
Yep.
name?
Marley.
That's a great name.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
So I have a younger male here that keeps coming close to me, and I just want to see if I can kind of do this, if that's okay. Do we have time, Elizabeth?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. What are you going to say? No, that would be terrible. So, I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I'm so not aware of time when I do
To
this.
me, I'm happy for you. Oh my gosh.
So I got to get a piece of paper, and my daughter drew on everything. So, I have a male here, and I feel like I need to talk about the K name, like Kevin. And I feel like this male would have been, I don't know. I feel like 18, 19, 20, 21. I feel like he makes me feel like, I don't know, he would have been responsible or accountable. Does someone understand this?
We have K about 18, KAI. And then other people are saying, yes, I do. Let's
I
see.
think
Kevin.
this is a Kevin.
Okay, Kevin, who is 34.
Nope, this is
Kate-
younger.
Caden was 20. Caden,
Okay.
K-E-N. So let's see.
Yeah, can I see the Caden connection?
Yeah. So let's see.
Who is it, Elizabeth? It's
iPhone.
scrolling so fast.
Darn it.
Yeah, I mean,
iPhone
I have
3?
to say, I feel like this would have been a young male. Unfortunately, I feel like he would have taken his life.
Okay.
That's how it feels to me. I
iPhone
thought
3,
it might be like an overdose. Maybe drugs or alcohol were involved, but I feel like this was with an intent.
Okay, so it's iPhone 3, Elizabeth?
Yeah, we have some other people who are writing in the chat box too, though. For instance, I guess this wouldn't be Cash, who's 17. That doesn't sound like Kevin, though, right? So we're trying Kate.
I mean, if it's close, I'm okay with that. Like if it's Kai or Caden or Kevin or Calvin or something like that. But I do feel like this is very direct or very, unfortunately, I feel like purposeful.
Okay, so did you?
No, go ahead. I can't see the scrolling. Let me.
No. I'm asking if Irene found iPhone 3, if that's too
Yeah, hold on just a second.
okay.
I don't see them there anymore, Elizabeth.
So there's somebody here that said Kieran.
Let's see, Kieran.
I don't know if they dropped off the call, but iPhone 3 isn't there.
Peter, Kieran.
There's somebody there that's Kieran. And all I'll say is this: I see people saying that, my so-and-so, but the name's not right. For this one, I feel like the name or that initial is very important.
Oh, Corey.
Okay.
Or the way it sounds.
Keegan is 22. That's also very similar. Let's see, Kieran.
But I don't feel like it's an
Hi,
accident.
sorry, I renamed myself. Corey is my name.
Oh, okay.
I was iPhone 3, sorry.
Thanks.
Hey, Corey.
Corey, let's see. Glad we found you. Could you say something again just so that I can highlight you?
Yes, hi.
Oh, there you are. Okay. Let's see.
So, Corey, you understand everything I said? Hey, Corey.
Yes,
Well, just tell me what you do understand and what maybe didn't.
the name, the age, and it was very sudden, but they don't believe it was suicide though.
So do you understand that it's drug induced?
Toxicology came back. Okay.
So that's no. So I don't know that I'm with you, Corey, only because this feels very like this person's taking responsibility, and I can't shake that feeling. So I appreciate it, but I don't feel like it's this is definitely on someone that took their own life.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Yeah, no, I'm sorry that I can't work with
That's
you.
okay.
But, does anyone understand this? I saw somebody say the name Kieran or Kevin or something, but
I believe
So
it was
Susan Matson, yeah.
Matson.
So it's always
Okay.
weird on Zoom.
Yes, I've
sometimes,
asked her
right?
to unmute. Hi, Susan.
Hi, guys.
And it looks like Michelle has her hand up too up there. Hey, how are you?
Yeah, doing okay.
Okay, I guess that's like not a question to ask in this venue. I'm sorry.
Not a
It's just bad
problem.
habit. So Susan, do you understand? So Kieran, do you understand that this was a suicide?
Yes,
Okay, I'm really sorry. And you
yes,
do understand that this was somebody that had some problems for a long time?
yes.
And I'm not talking
And
about anything judgy. I'm just getting
no,
impressions from him that he makes me feel like he just makes me feel like he takes everything personally. Do you understand that?
yeah,
Okay. I have a little bit of a delay, I think, but your voice sounds fine. So, and do you also understand that, like, I don't know, he just makes me feel like he had a lot of secrets. Do you understand that?
we are coming to learn that. Yes.
Okay. As long as that makes sense to you, like, I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers or trying to tell you things that you don't know. I just want to make sure that I have who I have and that they're here for you. And I do feel that very much so. Also, do you understand that there's another brother or another male that was like a brother?
His older brother,
Okay. What's his name?
Alexander.
Excellent. And do you understand too that like they couldn't be more opposite?
Oh, totally, totally. We
Because he
commented
makes
on
me
that
feel
all the
like he's
time.
the good one. That's what he makes me feel. And he just makes me feel like he couldn't get, I'm sorry to curse, but he couldn't get his shit together. Do you understand that?
Yes, to a degree.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, and also that he just makes me feel like, I don't know what this is. It's almost like, so was he very upset about a relationship? That's a no. Or you're not sure? That's okay. The feeling that
part of the secrets.
he keeps
Part of
giving
the
me
secret.
feelings about like people not accepting him.
We struggled. He was adopted from India and
Got
faced
it.
a
Oh,
lot of local
okay.
struggle.
I got it. Okay. So because I just keep getting this feeling like he, like I said earlier, like he takes things personally. So it's almost like there's this anger, but it's quiet in him.
Yeah,
And it's, you understand that? And it's
he
like
held
almost
a
like,
lot.
it's almost, excuse me, like I'm going to put on a good face because I know that you love me and I'm supposed to. And he really does love you. And he really loves you guys and just appreciates you, but he just didn't know how to work outside of that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And he just needs you to know that you did not fail him. Okay. You did not fail him. I keep hearing that very loud, like adamant loud. You did not fail him. And also that he just makes me feel like he had every opportunity possible. And he's just so sorry that he left you with this.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
And I just need to say that I don't know what this is. Did you find like notes of his or something?
There, he left behind a note that we didn't know about.
Okay.
The police found
Fair
it.
enough. I
but
just
yeah,
keep getting like, I want to scribble on a piece of paper and it's in your hand.
yeah.
I'm sorry, you're glitching out on the video, but
It's been going weird since I signed
hey,
on.
that's him, man.
Uh,
No, I don't know.
Would
Look, it
not be
stopped when I
surprised.
said that. Isn't that crazy?
He plays
So,
with my laptop.
but he's also very proud. He's very proud of Alex, or the older brother.
Yeah.
He just makes me feel like he's very successful, or he's going to be.
Oh, totally.
You understand that? And he's just like, he needs him to
Beyond his
know
years
he doesn't want to
successful.
take away from him. He
No.
keeps shining the spotlight on him, and he wants you to know, and that for all intents and purposes, he couldn't ask for a better mom. And he knows that he was difficult to connect with. He couldn't be raw and honest because he felt like he just didn't want to hurt anybody.
That was Peter.
You understand that? He just didn't want to hurt anybody. And that he literally makes me feel like it was all internalized, and like he was just angry with where he was at and he just didn't know how to deal. And I got to tell you, he makes me feel like, I don't know, he must have had suicidal ideation for a while.
We are coming to realize.
And
this.
did you know that he at one point he owned a gun?
He didn't. We as a family have firearms.
Okay.
And
Because I feel like when I'm around weapons, I feel like I'm toying with the idea of the quickness.
that was how he took his life.
Okay.
He had broken into the safe.
Sorry.
we'd hidden keys. He searched the entire house while we'd go out on errands. And
He's funny. I just heard him say, "You can't hide anything from me."
you know, we couldn't. We gave up putting passwords on laptops. He could crack a password in 15 minutes or less.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nothing.
definitely a sharp cookie. But also he just makes me feel like he wasn't emotionally capable of accepting who he was and
Yes.
living a life that he just kept feeling like he didn't belong. I'm sorry to say that's the feeling I get. And it's nothing you did or didn't do. He just makes me feel like he always felt that. He always
He
had
did.
that. And he just makes me where like nothing filled that void for him, that abandonment feeling.
He struggled with
And
that.
he's pissed now, or I shouldn't say that.
Go ahead.
Because I've never met
I
anybody
would
that's
say
pissed
that.
on the other side.
That
But
is
it's like
so-
he's upset that he has done to you what he didn't want, what he was so afraid of in his life, being abandoned. And he just wants you to know so badly that you deserve so much better, and he just wants you to be able to find peace. And he found his. And also, do you understand that he like changed his religion?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because he makes me feel like I believe in this, and now I believe in this, and
Yes.
then I'm going to believe in this. And it's like, and he was constantly looking for solutions to make up
Always.
for things that almost like I want to put me in a, you know, most people don't want to be put in a box.
Mhm.
He wanted to
ne-
be in a
oh.
category because he was always like, people were trying to understand how to work him in.
Yeah, they couldn't. He lived totally outside the box. We would laugh. He was our Indian born Hindu, baptized Lutheran, raised by a Catholic. He wore masks. He would blend in with different groups to feel
Sure.
that he fitted in.
And I feel like temporarily that would work, but nobody really got to know him because he didn't know how to get to know himself.
No.
He was like afraid because he felt like he wasn't wanted from whatever the issue was before. He just makes me feel like that. But I got to tell you, he makes me feel like there's a lot of joyous moments, and he doesn't want you to forget that. He doesn't want you to forget that. And also, I don't know, does Dad carry around a picture of him in a brown wallet?
Yes.
It
Yeah.
just keeps making me feel like it's
You
really
wanna pull
important.
it
Like,
out?
yeah, do you have it? Let me see. That would be
My
awesome.
husband's just pulling out his brown. Is it a brown wallet? It's a brown. Well, it's in here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a brown. He changed.
I can't see it, but is he in a wrestling gi?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice. So he does just want you guys to know how much he loves you, and he just appreciates how much you appreciate him. And
Okay.
that it's so funny because he makes me feel like his new religion is love.
Yeah, that's Peter. That's our Peter Kieran.
And he just wants you to know, and I know you know this, but he just wants to reaffirm that he's okay and that he loves
Okay.
you guys. And he's just so grateful that you guys are always thinking of him. And also, do you understand? Do you have a chocolate lab or a brown dog here or on the other side? Like a darker brown or apricot dog?
Oh, an Eddie dog.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
A golden. Oh God. What?
Okay,
was
if
it?
it's fine.
Yeah,
It's so funny
brown dog.
because to me, some nights when I get an animal, it's usually the end of the connection, and they're
Okay.
showing me that there's other animals or beings there. But I just keep getting that, and he just also. Do you understand? Also, at one point, he was really obsessed with like magic tricks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He
I keep
got
feeling
that
like
from
I'm
his
watching.
grandpa.
I can't remember this guy's name, but there's a guy who put himself in like a tank of water, like all these like feats of
yeah.
human and card tricks. I don't know why, but he just makes me feel like this wasn't something that anyone could have helped with. He just needs you to know that.
Okay. Thank you, Drew.
Okay. And he loves you very
Wow.
much. And he just wants to honor you as much as you honored him. And tell Alex I say hi.
Okay.
Okay.
I will be doing that.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for letting me
so
connect.
much, Drew.
Take care.
That was beautiful. Goodness
Yeah.
gracious.
Thank you guys so much. It's always an honor and a privilege to share this space. And I'm always in awe of how this works. And it's weird sometimes because I feel like, you know, there's always this piece when I'm working where I'm like, oh no, it's not going to go well. It's not going to go well. You know, like the whole time, like it's so weird, but it always seems to work out in spite of me, just not how I think it should. And I'm just grateful. And your spirits, you know, amaze me every time. So I'm just grateful. Thank you.
They are amazing. And you were just wonderful tonight. And I want to make sure that everyone knows that we would love for you to send in a validation story to me for the newsletter with a picture of your child so that we can include it. So my email is elizabeth@helpingparentsheal.org. And we always ask everybody to unmute and say thank you and good evening if you'd like to do so. And
Thanks, Drew. This was great.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Drew.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Drew.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate everybody.